if something just doesn't feel right, do fast forward or just wait till we move on to the next exercise. You can always come into a resting position, into a child's pose, or just sit down and have a sip of water. So we will start standing up, and then we'll do a little bit down on the mat as well. So let's bring our feet about shoulder distance and all 10 toes facing forward. Let's start a little warm up. So we're going to take a breath in, reach the arms up overhead. And then we exhale as we bring the arms down. We'll take one arm up and over to the side. Other hand can go on the thigh for support. And then we take it the other way. Big breath in, and we exhale. Take it to the other side. Let's do all that again. Both arms up. Big breath in, and exhale. Open the arms up wide. One arm up and over. And we release. And other arm up and over. Bringing our body back to neutral. We're going to soften into the knees. Place the hands onto the hips. We're going to go into pelvic tilts. We take the tailbone underneath us, and then we release. Take it back behind. So we're going through that neutral pelvis. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see what my pelvis is doing. If you envision this pelvis as a bowl of water, we're tucking it under, tipping the water out the back, and then as we release, the water comes out the front. So we're just working through that neutral pelvis position, and it can give us a nice stretch into that lower back, taking that tailbone underneath us. It's also good to know where that neutral pelvis is and where that tucked under position is, because in Pilates we do work a lot in that neutral pelvis and that tucked under position. Fantastic. Let's find the neutral pelvis, so level off that bowl of water and then straighten the knees. Going into our hip circles. So hips press to the side, back, side, and front. Feel free to take the feet a little bit wider if you need to. Fantastic. Put on the brakes and we'll take it the other way. Good, lovely. So next we're going to go through a series of exercises, working our legs, our back, and our arms into our shoulders. So we'll stop there. So I'm going to move to the end of my mat so I have somewhere to go. We're going to start with squat walks. So feet underneath the hips. We're going to bend the knees, send the hips back so chest can go slightly forward. You can place hands onto the bump or hands onto your waist. And we start by taking a step and then a step back together, and a step and a step back together. So you might be able to do 3 or 4 before you hit the other end of your mat, and then we're going to take it back. So I want you to envision maybe a book on the top of your head so you're keeping it nice and level. As we press out, we're working with abductors, so we're pressing the thighs out. Good, fantastic. We'll just do one more time, down and back. Good, stay in that squat position. Maybe even take the eye line forward, so that can help you keep that nice squat position. Good, fantastic. And we're just going to finish off this last run. Lovely, so I'm just going to work back to the center of my mat. So we're going to work into our arms now, so soften the knees. Nice level pelvis, so nice level bowl of water. We're going to reach the arms out to the side. Nice long arms, and let's start some circles forward. So if we think ears, shoulders, and hips, and heels, all in line. So we're working on posture, and so we're going to put on the brakes, and then take the arms back behind us. So you might start to feel a gentle burn into those shoulders. This one's a nice one for toning, building up strength. Because when baby comes, you've got to have those strong arms. So let's hold it there. We're going to rotate palms to the back of the room, spread the fingers. We're going to lift from that pinky finger. So getting into those triceps, keep those knees nice and soft, keep breathing, and keep that gap between the ear and the shoulder. And 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Give them a little shake out. Lovely. So you can place the hands back onto the hips. We're going to straighten the knees for this next one. So we're going to do heel raises. Lifting those heels up, coming to the ball of the feet, and then coming back down. Now, if you feel a little bit wobbly, especially if you're into your 3rd trimester, grab a chair, grab a cabinet, and we'll keep the balance that way, holding on to something. Otherwise, you can help use the breath, taking an exhale, finding that abdominal bracing, and then inhale as we release back down. So we're not moving the spine, so still shoulders over those hips. We're just lifting straight up, crowning the head to the ceiling, and then releasing down. Good. Exhale, lift, and we release down. Good. Exhale, lift, and we release down. One more here. Fantastic. Give it a little shake out. Right, let's start from the beginning. We're going to start with those squat walks again. So we're just going to do it one more time through. So let's get to the edge of our mat. We're going to bend the knees, take the hips back, so chest comes forward. And here we go. We take it side and together. Side and together. Good, so we've got that constant pressure onto the glutes, onto those hamstrings. So they're nice and loaded. Good. Remember, you can hold on to both if you need to here, or just have the hands on hips. Fantastic. We're just going to do it one more time, down and back. Keep breathing. If you need to come up and shake those legs out, that's absolutely fine. And we take it back. Good. Always listen into your body. Now is more important than ever to listen into your body and give it what it needs. So let's bend the knees. We're going to go into those arm circles. So nice neutral pelvis. Reach those arms out to the side, and here's our little circles. Good. You can do this one sitting down if you need to, or onto a birthing ball. Good. So you can envision some pencils onto the end of the middle finger, and we're tracing around that same circle again and again and again. Lovely. Keeping that same circle, we're just going to go the reverse direction. Good. Keep those elbows long, shoulders down. And 3, and 2, and 1. Palms to the back of the room. Spread the fingers. Here's our last little push. All for those triceps. So as you look down your nose, make sure you can see those arms still out of the corners of your eyes. Yes. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give them a shake out. Right, last exercise, and then we're going to come down to our mats. So make sure all 10 toes are facing forward. Feet underneath hips. We take a breath in to prepare. Here's our heel lifts. And down. So we rise up onto the balls of the feet, and then we slowly come back down. Try not to crash down. Remember, we use the breath to help us. We exhale to find that abdominal bracing, so that's where our hip bones are drawing inward, our belly button's drawing up. Fantastic. So you do want to stay onto the big ball of the foot, not onto those pinky toes. Good. And last one here. Fantastic. Give it a little shake out. Well done. So let's bring ourselves down onto our mats. Grab some water if you need it. And we're going to work on our core. We're going to do a core exercise here. So let's bring ourselves down onto our forearms back behind us. So take your time here, one at a time. And then we're going to walk our feet in. So feet nice and flat. We're going to do a little pelvic tilt. So tilting that pelvis back behind us. So you can envision trying to press the top of your leggings down onto your mat. Come onto the balls of your feet. We take a breath in to prepare. And then we exhale. We lift a leg to tabletop. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift to tabletop. Now this one is traditionally done down onto our backs, but we don't want to lay onto our backs. When we're pregnant, it can put some strain onto your vena cava and potentially cut off the blood flow to your baby. So that's why we want to stay upright, keeping that heart elevated. Good. So we're doing that little pelvic tuck as we lift that leg. We're taking that exhale, we lift up, feeling that little tiny pressure onto those core muscles. Now if this one feels alright for you, you can take it onto the next level. We stretch the leg out and in, and then we lower down. We exhale, stretch out, maintain that tuck in the pelvis, and lower down. Now if you feel this in your lower back, just go back to those leg lifts. Lift. Now make sure your shoulders are down, so we're still working on posture here. Make sure you haven't started to sag into those shoulders, so stay lifted up, chest elevated. In and down. Good. Exhale. Stretch. And in. Let's do one more time on each side. Exhale, lift. In and down. Last one. That tailbone tucked. In and down. Fantastic. Walk the feet out, and we'll start to bring ourselves up using those hands. Good, let's cross the legs and let's give the upper body a little stretch. Let's bring the palms to the small of the back, so our fingers are pointed down. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to open up the chest, pulling those elbows back. And then we exhale. Release. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Lift. Open the chest, pull the elbows back. And release. Lovely. Fingertips onto those shoulders. Give those shoulders a nice big roll back. Excellent. So we're going to bring ourselves down onto our sides, and we're going to work into our glutes, into our abductors. So come on down. We're going to rest our head onto our hand. Our knees are going to be bent and our hips stacked. From here, we're going to pull the top knee up a little bit further, flex the foot. We push the foot out in front, bring it around, and then again, knee up, out, and around. So keeping those hips nice and stacked, that's going to help engage those core muscles to stay, to keeping the pelvis where it's meant to be. Good. You can bring this hand down in front of you for a little bit more support. Good. Put on the brakes. We're going to do the reverse now. Stretch the leg out, bring it forward and in. We stretch it out, forward and in. Good. Keeping that foot flexed is going to work into the back of the leg a little bit more. Fantastic. And bring it in. Let's lower it down, keeping those feet together. We're going to lift the shins up off the mat, and from here we're going to go into our clamshell. We lift the top leg and then we lower down. Now take a little look down to your knees. As you lower down, make sure your knees are nice and stacked. That's going to mean that your hips are stacked. If your knees are not, if your knees are separated, that means you're potentially rolling back a little bit. So we want to stay upright a little bit more, just so our body's in alignment. Now if this is a little bit too much on your neck, feel free to come down and you can rest your head down onto your arm. You can even grab a cushion and pop it underneath your head here. Good, so this is working into our abductor, which is super important to have a nice strong abductor and hips, and that's going to help keep our pelvis together and hopefully avoid any kind of pelvic girdle pain. Good, so just 2 more here. Lovely, and last one. Good, lower down, give that a little pat, and we're going to bring ourselves up and around for the other side. So use those hands to push yourself up and swing the legs around. Right, so we're going to start with the bicycle. So find your comfortable position. Have that bottom knee bent. We're going to lift up that top leg, flex the foot, bring the knee up a little bit higher, stretch it forward and around. Up, stretch forward and around. Good. So we're keeping it on the same plane, so we're not lifting it up really high. Fantastic. Keeping that pelvis nice and still, that back nice and still as well. Doing good. Right, one more here. Right, let's reverse it now. Bring it forward and in, push it away. Forward and in, push it away. Fantastic. Good. You're probably feeling it right about now. Last one. Good. Lower the leg down, connect the feet. Lift the shins up just a little bit, and here we go with that top leg up and down. Good. Lift, squeeze, and release down. So the feet don't have to be too high off the mat. This is fine, just a little bit of an elevation. Good. And remember, you can lower your head down if you need to. Good. Take that little look down to the knees, make sure that they're nice and stacked. Doing good. Okay, last 4. 3. Good, 2. And 1. Well done, lower down, give it a little pat. Fantastic. Bring yourself up, use your hands. We're going to just come to an all-fours position. So onto your hands and knees. Make sure your hands are under shoulders. Knees are under hips. We're going to go into our bird dog. So your back is really long. Your core muscles are already engaged. We're going to stretch out right arm and left leg. From here, we're going to turn the thumb up to the ceiling and flex the foot so the heel's up to the ceiling. We take a breath in, and as we exhale, we lift arm and leg, and we tap back down. We exhale, lift, and tap down. So we're trying to get into our core muscles here. Staying nice and stable. Now our supported leg here, we want to keep that nice and vertical. So we're staying pulled up, our back's engaged as well. And tap down. Now you can always come up onto your knuckles if this is a little bit too much for your wrists. And tap down. Good. Just one more on this side. Fantastic. Let's switch over. Switch to the other side. We stretch out, thumb to the ceiling, heel up, and here we go. We stretch and tap down. Make sure you're not going to hit anything behind you. Please lift and tap down. Excellent. We lift. Nice long arm, long leg, long back, long neck. And tap down. And keep that breath going. Exhale, lift. It's going to help you. Tap down. Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Good. 2 more. And lower. And last one. We lift and we lower down. Fantastic job. Bring that leg in. We're going to stretch the other leg out, the leg that we started with. We're going to take it across the body, and we're going to take a little look across the shoulder to that leg. Fantastic. Bringing that leg in, we're going to pull the knee forward and bring that foot forward, coming into our pigeon stretch, sliding the leg back behind us, and coming onto your forearms, giving the glutes a little stretch. Just take a breath in and exhale. your time. Great, so other side, we're going to stretch the other leg behind us, follow the foot down, take it across the body, take a little look over your shoulder, look to that foot. And bring the leg back, bring that knee forward, the foot comes slightly in front as well, and slide your other leg back. Use your toes to help you. And bring yourself down, so you want to find a stretch into the side of your glutes, into that abductor. Lovely, and then bring yourself up. Lovely, let's bring ourselves up and around. Good, go ahead and cross your legs here. Good, from here let's take a reach up, big breath in. And we exhale, bring those arms down. So just like the beginning of class, we're going to take a reach to the side, plant one hand down, and we release up. So we're trying to keep the sitting bones connected to the mat as we take that reach over. Let's take another big reach up, inhale. We exhale. Release the other arm open. And inhale, lift. And over. And lift. Let's take both those arms up. Big breath in. And exhale, release down. And one more. We scoop up that positive energy. Inhale, meet the palms together and bring them down to your heart center. Well done. Thank you very much for joining me for Pregnancy, Legs, Bums, and Tums. And I will see you again in another video. Don't forget to give me a little like and subscribe for more to come out soon. See you soon. Bye-bye.